siege tanks out and then really put it to your opponent.
The Marines, the Marauders, the siege tanks now moving out. Again, MVP still kind of stuck in the corner of the map. MMA free to move around. It looks like MMA may try to do a timing attack here in this base in the top center, which is controlled here by MVP. And if he gets this, I don't think there's really much room to catch up.
Beautiful tank siege right there. He's trying to deny just a little bit of that base without overextending. MVP has to move up a big chunk of his army, but MMA is walking around the map right now. These two siege tanks are just a lure. If he gets too out of position, this army that we see right here on screen will counterattack, and it will be really hard to stop.
By the way, we're getting to the point where they're almost max right now. 166 supply here for MVP, and for MMA, 178.
Well, MMA is taking that fourth base right now, continuing to produce Marines and Marauders as well as siege tanks. On the other hand, MVP, his siege tank count is getting pretty out of control. He's got to be careful, though. Doesn't want to overextend here, chasing away this army just for a moment.
Yeah, you got to engage only when you know you're going to win. All right, he stims, knowing that maybe they're out of line, away from the siege tanks. But he's got to be careful, too. There's a ton of Vikings, and he could shoot down every single medevac. And that means that every time that MMA stims, he's going to be in trouble.
He's already having a hard time keeping the hit points up on his Marines and Marauders. All those are pretty badly damaged. And in the meantime, a nice little siege tank attack on the side here, just trying to deny as much mining as possible.
Oh, my God. We need to get a shot of the main base here. There's a massive drop going on up there.
Oh, but the Vikings taking care of medevacs just so well. And without medevacs, all these units in the main will be cleaned up much, much easier.
Meanwhile, MVP now moving over here saying, I know the gold base is exposed and you can't have it anymore. MVP starting to get back into this game. Things are starting to balance out.
I think he might be asleep.
Oh, well, this is just sad. No, let's see here. Okay, I think that account that's lagging is neither the players nor you or me.
It's not.
It's not, but, so it's okay.
Yeah,
the game
fine.
was too awesome. The computer couldn't handle it. It crashed. That sometimes happens.
That's pretty normal, actually.
Yeah, that's the LG 3D Cinema computers. So I guess those of you who are over there, if you can hear us, which actually I guess they could because we're casting these games. Ooh, we should stand up more on camera. You are going to have to come over here. You can check it out in Hall D down that way, or you can come over here into where we are. We're broadcasting this from. So I think what's actually going to happen is it's just going to drop, and then we're going to go back into the game. So
yeah,
don't worry.
I just want to say something before this happens. The supply right now, 171 to 171. This game is pretty close.
And nobody has a gold base anymore.
That's right.
They both have their third natural blue bases. And are we out? Yeah, not yet. So sit tight, guys. We're sorry for the second technical delay here. But it should be sorted out pretty soon here. And I think we're getting confirmation from the players that they're going to be ready. Are you guys ready?
And here we go. Right back into the game. Those siege tanks taking out the gold. Most of the minerals gone, though. So that did a lot of what it was meant to. And look at this. MMA out of position. He's got to be careful, though. MVP cannot be losing all these Hellions. He needs them to soak up damage and deal it to the Marines.
And this is the fundamental problem with going Marine Marauder when you get this late in the game. Mech, once you have enough siege tanks, it deals too much damage. Another attack over here. And right now, MMA running with his tail between his legs as MVP is starting to become just too scary.
He is indeed. He's up at 187 supply against the 166 of his opponent. But the really bad thing, even though that supply difference doesn't seem so much, MVP's units are way more cost efficient, but not if they're not siege. A beautiful catch right there, flanking with Marauders. MVP way out of position.
Oh my God. The tank count getting so drastically reduced here. The Vikings are landing, but there are more Marauders over there. And here's the way it works, guys. If you lose all your siege tanks, that's different from losing all your Marines. Siege tanks, you never have as many factories as you have barracks generally. So you've lost all these units that are incremented out. So he has to start over in that sense. So that's pretty good. But at the same time, MVP still not looking afraid at all. He's going to keep moving forward. Maybe I'm wrong. I think maybe he will be able to take this. We'll see. He's in siege mode now.
Well, you know, he's really the only player in the world, Tasteless, that can go mech and attack with it like this. You know, a lot of times we see players just want to wait till the max. It's a lot easier to move across that map and not lose your army. But MVP, his macro is spot on. He's still up in supply, 167 to 152. And just doing a great job of pushing MMA back.
Okay, so the gold base now being taken again here by MMA, the bottom right one, as well as the center left expansion. And this is possible only because he had that gold base to begin with. He just had these extra minerals before it was lost, so he invested it wisely. Meanwhile, I think the center point here is going to be this attack that is about to occur here. Actually, like two passing ships in the night, they go by each other. Meanwhile, an attack over here at the expansion and nothing there to defend.
They're going to be able to kill off a lot of those SCVs. MVP being a little bit confused about what he should do here, still mining some and losing quite a bit.
Well, he can't mine from that location. His army has to go all the way back over there. That means the gold base for MMA is going to be up, and this base that we just now got a shot of over here in the center left is going to be up and running as well.
That's right, and in this time with those few units, he has done so much. Slowed the economy of MVP, made him withdraw, and now dropping in the main base. Really abusing the lack of mobility of MVP's mech.
Beautiful. Mech, it's strong, it's deadly, but it's not exactly mobile. Now he stims, he runs away, and he can continue to destroy depots or turrets, whatever he wants, supply blocking his opponent.
Doing a great job right now, and in fact, he's going to be counterattacking as well. He's got to be careful here. Oh my God, he's going to catch so many of these siege tanks. Beautiful spreads by MMA, taking them out.
And that, I think, actually might, you know, he's cut him off, essentially. He's backing up. He sees siege tanks going to siege mode. Adroitly outmaneuvers that situation. And this is getting ugly because right now MMA can afford to lose units, and MVP cannot. The supply right now, 139 for MVP, 182 for MMA.
Well, MVP is in so much trouble right now, Tasteless. He's going to realize, okay, I actually have to slow down. There's no way to keep attacking against a max Terran at this small supply. Almost nothing left mining. Look at this, another beautiful Marauder attack over to the side, just abusing every single location that MVP is not at.
And you know what's sexy about this is he's escaping in time. If he can't do any more damage, he just runs out. And I actually see MVP losing this game at this point in time. I mean, he is like he is being rocked over and over and over.
That is so true, Tasteless. It's like that GSL theme song was made for MMA.
He's all in. He's taking the remainder of his SCVs. I don't think he realizes how much of the map MMA has. It's going to be very hard to stamp out all those locations.
Well, those SCVs taking a lot of hits, and the siege tanks doing a great job there. And in comes the lone Banshee, Tasteless.
So smart. It's mostly Marines, Marauders and siege tanks, which obviously cannot fire up. So the Banshee is going to drive them out of position for the Marines.
Oh! And somehow that Banshee lives down to just 5 hit points left.
Somehow, some way.
Well, he's now got a watchtower with a lot of siege tanks, and the transition to siege tanks has worked beautifully for MMA. Really no way for MVP to keep moving forward.
All right, here we go. He's moving in here again, but there's going to be a brilliant counterattack. And let's face it, in a base trade scenario, it's pretty clear who has more of the map, who has more bases, and that person is MMA. This game's going to be ending very soon, and it would take a miracle right now for MVP to win this.
It certainly would, Tasteless. We see he has a very powerful force here, so he probably won't leave the game too quickly. But, I mean, he's going to have to lift up buildings. There's no way he's going to remove MMA's army from his base.
Landing the Vikings here. He mows down the siege tank. And this is just, I don't know, guys. I mean, look, siege tanks, let's think about it. They deal a lot of damage, but are they mobile? Nice. Even dropping on top of them.
Beautiful move right there.
Oh, my God.
Dealing so much splash damage to themselves are these siege tanks. In fact, a Marauder's in there. Goodbye, Rambo.
All right, he's in here. He's now destroying the production facilities. And again, as I was saying, siege tanks do a lot of damage, but you got to siege them up. You got to unsiege them. That takes a while. The only thing I could think going on, oh my God, this planetary is gone. And I would say expect GG any second.
That's right, 39 supply to 139. That's quite a deficit for MVP. I cannot believe my eyes. MMA is just playing brilliantly.
He's playing so well, He never even got to the point where his production facilities were under fire. The money right now, he has, oh, never mind, GG. We have another win here for MMA.
That's right. He is serious tasteless. He's been to the finals before. He's almost tasted victory in the GSL, but this is his night. He is just dominating. MVP, though, he played a very strong game, made just a very small mistake there. That one point where he's in the middle of the map with his tanks on siege and got caught with a huge arc. It was like a 180-degree arc of Marauders stemmed, and when you're not sieged up, you're totally getting owned.
And this is the thing about going for mech, going for mechanical units, if you don't know what mech is, in StarCraft 2 is siege tanks are so expensive. They don't build quickly like Marines. You can't get a reactor on your factory. You make double siege tanks at a time. So there was this moment where we saw MVP was getting a lead, then he moves out, and he lost, like, what was it, 6 or 7 siege tanks?
It was far too many. Siege tanks become exponentially more powerful in larger and larger groups. And if those had all been sieged, all those Marauders disappear. He loses like 1 unit. But unsieged, that turned the game completely around. And from there, MMA was spectacular. He was everywhere at once, punishing MVP at every turn, every corner, every nook, and every cranny.
He played so well. I love this strategy that he did. What did he do? He took a normal expansion with a Reaper build, and that's really not that unique, okay? And then he took what we saw in older GSL strategies, the one where you go for Reaper first and you take the gold first. He took the gold base and the natural expansion. So, we have too many 3-letter name players, and this is hard to cast. With MVP, he probably saw the blue base and said, oh, okay, it's just that, that normal Reaper expand build. But no, it was not. And getting all those gold minerals, as well as losing, for him losing those Banshees, it was pretty bad. We're going to go to a 3-minute break. But when we get back, we're going to be here with game number 3 of the GSL Finals. We'll see you soon.